one step. Yeah, I just got a shawty and put her on a jet.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the High Passion Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel K, and we're here today with another great guest, Toxic.
What's going on, guys? My name is Toxic. I do music, I make clothes, I throw shows, and I'm sitting here smoking with my bro, blowing O's.
Fuck yeah. All right, well, let's get right into it. I'm going to roll some up. I've got some of the weed that I've grown here. I've got some Georgia Pie and some Pink Gas there if you want to check them out. Cool. We're going to get right into it. We're going to smoke some fucking loud, roll some up. I've got the, you got the Georgia Pie over there, and I got the Pink Gas here, depending on what you want to smoke on. You know, we got the Indica and the hybrid. I usually stick with the Georgia Pie to keep it kosher.
Is that Indica or is that hybrid?
This is Indica. This is
a hybrid?
That's a hybrid.
Okay, I'm going to do the hybrid.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Cool,
I'm going to roll up some of the Georgia Pie.
Jeez.
And then we'll get into it. So if you want to just, pass that over.
This?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.
And we'll get right into busting one up, roll one up, and get into how you got into music, man.
Yeah.
So what was your introduction of music?
So I think my introduction into music is I used to do like guitar lessons and play guitar.
Okay.
When I was like 12, like 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
I just got into guitar and I took like guitar lessons at
just kind of like resonates through you.
Yeah, no, it was cool. So yeah, I went to Long and McQuaid in Brampton and just did guitar lessons, learned like Green Day. I love pop punk, like Jimmy World.
Yeah.
The Middle was one of the first songs I learned. That and Everlong by the Foo Fighters were like some of the first songs that I ever learned how to play.
Love the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Love the Foo. That's fire. So when you were learning the music, learning that music, you were, I'm guessing, getting into that whole scene.
Yeah. So basically, my intro to music is like my parents had like an iPod Classic, and my neighbor was my best friend, and his parents were super into music. So we gave them our iPod Classic because we used to have like a family iPod Classic.
Okay, yeah.
And we'd throw it on like the dock. So he just like downloaded all the music. So we got like Nirvana, AC/DC, all that kind of stuff. And I just like fell in love with rock music. So like I think for when I was in grade 5, my Halloween costume was Kurt Cobain.
Oh, nice.
I got pictures.
Grade 5.
Yeah.
Wow. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Right into it. And after getting into the music yourself, what was your first like approach at doing it as like a career or as like a passion?
So, I would always do music, and in the band that I was in when I was in like grade like 6, 7,
you got into a band.
Yes, and we played like garage shows for like Halloween. We'd like do it for the whole street because our street used to be really involved in like garage sales, all that kind of stuff. It was like lit. And then I just always kept the passion for music. And then I think like in high school, like I discovered like rap music, and that's I think what I was talking about on the phone about. Like I listened to like Tyler the Creator, Mac Miller. I was super into Eminem, a lot of those things, and that's kind of what like led me into my guideway to rap because I didn't have a great singing voice at the time. So rap was like a really good way for me to like enter into music.
Got you.
And then I was 17 and I recorded. Shout out to my boy Connor Ross. I haven't seen him in a minute, but he was super talented, and he just brought me over to his house with this guy called Chris Murmur, and we just created my first song, and then I performed it at the school battle of the bands.
Oh wow.
And like when I did that first performance, that's when I was like, yeah, maybe I should do music because it was just so electrifying, right?
Yeah, and you felt it.
Yeah. and like our music had so much swearing and all that kind of stuff, so they like tried to kick us off stage, and then like they were like, get off the stage. The vice principal came out, and then everyone's like was just like chanting my name, and like I guess we're just gonna do it. So then I just performed the song Spaced Out, the first song that I ever dropped, and like ever since then I've just been like really just addicted to like music and performing.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
That energy is like, it's what it's all about, bro. And that's what's gonna keep it going for you is having that passion and that fire, that the desire to produce the art really is what you're doing.
Yeah, like I went to an art school, right? So we had like a whole ass like auditorium.
Oh shit!
So like I performed in like a big like auditorium with like seats that fits like.
Where'd you go?
I went to Mayfield Secondary School.
Okay.
Over in Caledon, Ontario.
Gotcha.
But I did the dramatic arts program because I wanted to be an actor for a long time, and I like wrote plays and all that kind of stuff. And I was a background actor in Degrassi when I was like 14. And then
shit! When
I was like 18, I went to an agency and I got offered a contract, but they're like, yo, no piercings, no tattoos, all that stuff. So then I was just kind of like,
nah.
Yeah, it just doesn't fit like what I want to do. So acting is something I want to get back into like after, but yeah, I just, I don't want to live like restrictedly like that.
You want to be able to be who you are and then take that to the next step as an actor. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think the way you're doing it's actually smart because you get to create your own image and your own brand, and then if somebody wants you to be an actor, they're already going to know what you're representing and how you're styling and everything. So there's no restrictions on that. That's pretty fucking cool.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yes, sir. Throughout this time, you're saying listen to Odd Future, doing all of that. You were skateboarding a lot?
Yes, I used to skate every single day. When I was like 13 years old, I wanted to be a professional skateboarder. I looked up so much to like Nigel Houston and Ryan Sheckler, but I think that's what like got me introduced to like wanting like that rock star life. But skating, like all like the clothes that I do, everything's based off of skate culture. Like I came here in like DC shoes that I like customize and stuff. Like I still like skate culture is like the ground base for like my fashion sense.
Yeah,
and even music.
Influence.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Love it. So at what point did toxic become a thing throughout all of this?
Yeah, so at first I didn't really have a name. I just kind of went by like my first name. And then when I was like just leaving high school, I used to have this book that I would write like all my rhymes and my raps in. It was like just like a notebook that I got from like Dollarama, and I would do like doodles and I would draw. And I had this one song right after I dropped my first song. It was called like Toxic Thoughts, and I just like loved the word toxic, and I would just like draw it in graffiti because I used to draw like lots of graffiti letters and stuff, and I would just do a lot of like cool like lettering. But toxic is something that always stuck with me because it was like it just really felt like it was something like I could really like channel that like confused fucking angry teen energy out into, right? So it just like manifested into what it is today, and it just became that.
That's fucking awesome, man. Kind of following that whole street vibe, skater vibe, like keeping in tune with that whole genre of things, right? Just fucking going with the flow. I love it. I guess, kind of briefly touched on it there, but your fashion influence comes from that whole world then.
Yeah, so in terms of fashion, like I was really inspired by like I used to work at Zoomies. I worked at like all those like skate shops. So a lot of the stuff that I do save me is just comes from skateboarding clothing, like the baggy clothes, everything. And even like just the underground rap scene in the late 2010s, I think that also really had a big influence on my fashion because that's when I was like really starting to get into music, really starting to do fashion. And like that whole wave of like X, Juice and everyone and like Revenge and everything really just inspired me to do more because I always wanted to do clothes, and I would go to like t-shirt time. I would like hand draw stuff like graffiti letters, and I would go on like Pixlr, a free fucking like app on like the internet, and just like trace it and just like make designs and stuff. And it was just like any way that I can have to express myself, I've just always done. That's why I just like love that I can just make clothes. I don't like spending money on like new clothes. I'd rather just like spend my time like making something new that I can wear.
Absolutely. I completely agree, bro. Rep your own shit, because if you don't do it, who's going to?
Exactly. I rep myself, but I also rep my friends who are in the fashion scene. So yeah, we're just going to take a second and just shout out all my friends in the fashion scene.
Absolutely.
We're going to shout out one of the craziest designers in the city. His name is Scissor. He makes crazy clothes. He did this hat. He's super talented. I modeled for him like 2 years ago, but he's one of like my tight homies. So if you're ever looking for like really new, cool custom, he does customs. He does everything. Scissor's really, really dope. And then my boy 5 Live, he's the one who did my G-Shock.
I saw you when you posted that dripped out.
Yeah, so really shout out to him, and shout out to Ethan Cordner. He's like just a youngin' on the scene. He just did the Save Me show. He has like such a cool fashion sense too. So like those 3 guys I think are in fashion. Those are like my top picks for Toronto.
Nice. Fucking love it, bro. Love the shout outs to everybody else, showing some love and fucking repping the gear. It's all about that, bro. Fuck yeah.
For sure.
Also, you were just showing me the new piece you got, your new fucking bottoms there.
Yes. So the Midas Touch 4K, he's my jeweler. He made these grills.
Little barbed wire.
If you want chains, rings, or anything, definitely hit him up. He's super talented. He works with a lot of high-end artists and stuff, so he's really tapped in. So if you really want to go and get some work done for him, you should definitely check out his page. He did these for me. I don't know if you can see, but they're like barbed wire at the bottom. But yeah, if you're looking for a good jeweler downtown Toronto, he's like right at like Yonge and College. He's really dope. I was just with him earlier today.
Fuck yeah, man. Love it. So when you were creating clothing, you first getting into it, talk about the first piece of clothing that you made.
So the very, very, very first piece that I made, me and my friends growing up in high school, we lived in Brampton, Ontario. Oh yeah. And we had a lot of forests and stuff by us, so the older kids would like show us a place where they used to smoke weed, and then they pass it on to the younger generation to smoke. So we used to always smoke there, and then in the middle of the forest, dude, we literally built this hut. We took all my parents, they were throwing out furniture, we took all the furniture, we found like a foosball table, like a basketball thing, and we called it Chillville.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like
your sesh spot.
Exactly. So we'd go there, we'd hang out, and then the first thing that I did is I wrote like Chillville and like bubble graffiti letters, and I went to T-shirt time at Bramley City Center.
Okay, yep.
And then I made they just did like a vinyl print for me. It was like 2 colors, but I didn't understand how T-shirt printing worked at the time, but now I understand.
Yeah.
And then after that, I made like these 2 shirts. When I was like 19, and I just like took like pictures of like a rose, and I took pictures of some like creepy trees, and then I would just like sell them at like some shows, and one of the shirts said Paranoid and the other one said Misunderstood. But I still have the very first T-shirt that I made. The
Chillville one.
No, I don't have the Chillville hoodie, but I have the Paranoid T-shirt that I first made.
Sick.
Yeah,
sick. Also, the Chillville was a hoodie.
Yeah, it was like a hoodie. It was like a black hoodie, but the Paranoid shirt that I made, it's really cool. I'll show it to you sometime after, but it was the first shirt that I made, and I still have it because I can't let it go. Yeah,
of course. Yeah. Why would you? That's your inspiration for the future. One of the first things you did, as well as something you can look back at.
Yeah, so. When I like put that shirt and these shirts like side to side, it's like super trippy.
Yeah,
because I like taught myself graphics and everything, and like I just like taught myself Photoshop and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't like for music and mixing and mastering, like I went to school for that, but
got you.
The clothing was just a passion, and I just like taught myself how to do it.
That's what it's about, man. Fucking just keep learning, keep grinding, and adding on to your repertoire of things that you do. I fucking absolutely love it. Let's talk about what your cannabis influence was.
Cannabis influence, man.
Yes.
So literally, when did I first start smoking weed? I started smoking weed like literally end of first semester in grade 9.
Okay.
And I had an older sibling, so I bought weed off of like her boyfriend at the time.
Nice.
And I used her pipe, and me and my boy Tyler just like went out to the random thick of the woods by our old middle school and started smoking. And it was just crazy. But the first time you smoke, you're like, am I even high? Like, you don't really like feel it.
So it's funny because as I'm doing the podcast, everybody hearing the stories, like it seems to be a split of people either get real baked or don't feel it at all.
Yeah, so my first time I was like, am I high? Am I not high? Then like the second or third time, like I used like obviously like we were talking about, I used to skate, so I linked with all the older kids on my block, and they showed us the place like Chillville. Yeah. Right? And they just like showed us the bongs and made us hit it. So like first like exam season of like grade 9 is like when I started like just getting out of my mind. Yeah.
Do you know any idea of what like quality you were smoking on back then?
Well, back then, man, we just got it off some like
Some
random dude, you know what I mean? It wasn't like we could go and figure out what strain it was, what the thing, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was illegal, you know what I mean? Like, I would wait, like, I used to wait like hours for this guy on my street to like just come and bring us like a fucking gram, you know what I mean?
Whole different world, bro. People don't know.
Yeah,
you know,
what it was like before.
100%.
You know
now
what I mean?
you got 10 stores on every street that you can just walk into, and you know, I mean, you at least know a bit more what you're getting in that aspect versus when we were younger, we had no clue. And
it was illegal. It was a drug dealer, dude.
Yeah.
I've like literally the craziest story that I have about weed is like I was what grade was I? I think I was grade 11. It was like 2015.
Yep.
And like me and my boy, he was like a rapper as well, like from the same school, and we would always like freestyle and stuff together. We went to go pick up at someone I knew from middle school because he like chopped back then, right?
Yeah.
So we're just like waiting, and he had people in and out all day because he was like chopping. So we grabbed, and this was like around like Sandalwood, Heart Lake, like downtown, not downtown Brampton, but like Sandalwood and Heart Lake where I used to live. And we're driving, and I see this car in my rearview mirror, this black like Mustang. It just kept following us. And then as soon as I got to like around the bus terminal, I see the lights go on. I'm like, yo, what the F? And then they come out, they open the doors, it was literally like some DEA agent type stuff. They pull out with guns, like, yo, get out of the car.
That was
all
probably
this stuff.
Tav.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I put my hands on the thing. Like, how much did you grab? I'm like, dude, I just grabbed the gram. And they're like, really? And I was like, yeah. They were just like, and then they just let me go, yo. And I'm like, yeah. Like,
They thought you were the plug, bro.
Yeah, or like I grabbed like a pound or something.
Yeah,
man, you know what I mean?
They
And
thought
like,
they had
like,
you.
what's your friend's name? What's your boy's name? I just, I didn't say anything. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I just got this number. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I remember like being like, oh my God, I can't believe I survived that. That was crazy. Like, weed being illegal is like not a lot of things that people remember.
Just think about how crazy it is that you had guns pointed at you for a gram of fucking weed. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. No, legit, man. They were like yelling and like, put your hands on the hood. Like I was with my cousin and my boy, and we're just like, yo, our life is over.
Yeah, but that's what you think. I mean, fuck, it's a life or death situation as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, legit, dude.
That's fucking crazy. So what is now your favorite way to consume cannabis?
Dude, I'm just a bong guy all the way.
Yeah?
Like, I've been a bong guy. I used to smoke poppers all the time.
Oof.
That's how I start. That's, but I only hit like batch bowls every now and then when I'm like, kind of turned. But I have like a Haas glass.
Okay. Yeah.
But when I was in school, the thing was like all the kids, like, because I went to like Mayfield and art school, so I went to Caledon, so I went to school with a bunch of rich kids. So they had like, they'd pull up to school every day in like Mercedes, like all this other stuff. So they would have like Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I just broke my Philadelphia.
Yeah, like, yo, my bong was like $1,200 in like 2014, and you're like, bro, how did you get that money? You know what I mean? But yeah, I would say bong is like, I'm definitely a bong guy.
Fuck yeah, man. I think that's the first on the pod. I got to get a bong for the podcast so we can fucking sesh it, but I want to do a custom one in the future. Get a nice high passion bong.
Yeah, like I love smoking joints, but just like, I don't know, just for like optics, like when you want to get high, you just get high quick.
Yeah.
You don't have to put a lot of weed. It's just like quick, and you don't look how much we're smoking right now.
Oh, I
could get just as high from like a bong from like this much. You know what I mean?
See, that's my thing with the bong is it became too much of a comfort thing. I was sleeping with it beside me, and I was waking up fucking, and it's like I was smoking the same amount of weed as if I was smoking joints anyways because I was so consistent with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of why like I do it as an occasional thing now.
Yeah.
But
it takes a lot of self-control.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Like even my cousin, all of them are like, oh, we got to get rid of our bong. We're just smoking it because it's just so easy, man. Especially if you can smoke in your own place. You just like wake up. You're like, I'm going to just hit a bowl.
Bang.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I used to like my old apartments before where I'm living now, like I could just like smoke inside, right?
Yeah.
Like because the landlords didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
That's how I live too, right? I just smoke wherever. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
How does cannabis now influence your music and your clothing?
Well, I'm a perma-fried stoner and I'm high all the time. So every time I make music, every time I make clothes, like I'm balling up. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate, and I wish I could like you know, like I've gotten to a point where like, you know, if I'm like grinding hard, I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna get all my stuff done, work out, do all this stuff, and at the end of the day, then I'll smoke. But like honestly, like it definitely helps, man, especially like late at nights. You know, like a lot of my songs, like I'm just off, I'm just turned up, just making stuff or just working on stuff. So it definitely like, I think it makes me all really spaced out, and it takes me longer, but it gives me good ideas.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Kind of puts you into the vibe, even though it takes you a little longer to find what you might like.
Yeah, I'll be sitting there like for like an hour, like, you know what I mean? Because I'm so fried, but it definitely like.
But then it comes to you.
The creativeness comes, right?
Yeah.
Like I think the crazy thing is like, it's like I smoke to like stay awake. I don't know if you're like that, but if I'm like working on stuff all night, I'll like hit a bowl. And then, like, once I start crashing from that bowl, I need to hit another bowl.
Fair, because you don't want to burn out.
Exactly.
Obviously.
It keeps me awake. Yeah, but then at the end of it, I go to bed. But, like, while I'm just, like, chasing the dragon, it just keeps me awake.
Yeah. Keeps you in that zone, right? I completely agree with that. That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what you have here on the table, man.
Yeah, dude. So, I would say, so this is the tote bags that I have. My brand, it's called Save Me, S4V3M3. I made the brand. I thought of the idea when I was like in college, because like I, you know, like substance abuse problems and like AA, you know what I'm saying? They always say that you need that higher power to take you out of that kind of stuff. So like Save Me was like, damn, like I would stop doing all this if just someone could just pull me out and save me.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, it's like, it's also like kind of religious. That's why on like the back of the shirts, like, let me just show you. I have like these religious symbols.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I'm trying to start like my own cult, but it's something sort of like almost like religious to me. So so I'm just super proud of like the shirts.
Fuck yeah. And show off show off the pants you brought there too.
The coolest pair of pants that I made. Like I got into a car accident and like almost lost my life and lost everything, and I was like trapped in a really bad apartment, and I had no money to even make music, nowhere to record. So these pants, like how to do this, I literally just cut up a piece of paper and made like stencils, and I traced stuff, and I was like, hey, I can get bleach from Dollarama, I can go to Value Village and just get like, you know, just random denim. So I just started making jeans and stuff. It took a lot of time, but it was actually like, you know, it's been making me money, so it's just really good. The jeans though, so those are all those jeans with like, they're called the full moon jeans because the very first pair that I made like out in an alleyway, that's why I like calling it streetwear, because I literally made it in I make them in alleyways, like on the street with like spray paint. So awesome. They're called the full moon jeans because the very first pair that I made, and I wasn't even planning it, but it was made on a full moon.
Hey,
so we just had a full moon too.
Oh, did we? I don't pay attention.
Yeah, they're called those are the like full. I have like the full moon jeans where it's just like the spray paint, and then the full moon jeans V2, like version 2 with the bleach.
Fuck.
Yeah,
that's dope, bro. I fucks with it, you know. And
Thank you.
Fucking glad you brought it out. Show it off. Yeah. Fucking crushing it, man. Crushing it. Let's talk about you performing. What was one of your favorite performances that you've done?
Favorite performances? Honestly, I just really loved the last show that I did. I love the show. I love performing at the shows that I throw, because everyone who's been a part of it knows like I just create like a really positive environment for artists. So it's just my people. I put all my work into it. So that's my favorite. If we want to talk about like big shows, like I had a really fun time opening up for like NASCAR Aloe in Parkdale Hall in like 2022.
Yeah.
But my favorite is definitely throwing my own shows, like the Save Me shows, because it's just like me. Like I'm the one making the graphics. I'm the ones putting up the flyers. I'm the ones making the group chat, like motivating people to sell tickets and stuff, because my goal is to eventually, you know, give artists a commission off their tickets, because I'm an artist too. So I used to work for a company called 1-800-GOT-JUNK. And one thing that I loved about my pay is I had a base hourly, but I would get like profit sharing commissions and tips. And I truly do believe if you incentivize people, they're going to work harder. Right. So about me, it's just building my brand where I can like put the money in and just like get enough money out from a base return from all the artists. So if they hit like a certain mark, like say I'm like, if you sell 15 tickets, then once you hit 15, I can give you $5 a ticket. So that's $75. And then even after that, you can get $5 a ticket, because no one in Toronto is like offering that to artists.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive to throw events, and I understand, right? But
sure.
I'm definitely trying to throw like the most artist friendly shows and like set up a model where I can like make people feel like it's worth it.
Yeah.
I hate when I have to do shows and I have to like sell them out of tickets and I don't even get a cut. And it's like I spent 2 weeks of my life like stressing about this. You know what I mean? So I want to really set something up like that. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm really trying to just create like a whole like empire with everyone, and just like, you know, everyone can make money. Everyone can eat. There's enough money, but you just have to be serious. Like if you're going to be a part of my shows and you're not going to sell tickets and you don't care, you don't send me pictures so I can make your own flyers, because every artist just sends me a picture. Like I have Photoshop, like I make their own individual flyers. Like that takes time from my day,
sure.
you know, like a lot of time, right? 100%. So if you're not about it and you don't understand what the vision is, then like I can't like help you, you know what I mean? Because like there's no one,
people.
Yeah, say what you're saying.
You need people that want to do it themselves. You know, the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, right?
Yeah, exactly, right? So
if you can't do it all for them, you can help.
Exactly.
And that's what you're here for.
So I'm trying to like find out and like build a roster of artists that I know can just like, I don't care about your streams. If you can sell tickets and bring people to shows, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
And you bring your people, and you know what? You can perform, have a fun time, and get paid. That's my goal.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to achieve that within the next 1 or 2 shows, but everyone that I fuck with, like I told them, that's my goal, because I do believe like, yo, if you're pushing it, like you should get something out of it, right?
Yeah.
Just so it feels worth it, yo.
It's a crazy vision, because I haven't heard anyone doing it like that, and it sounds awesome, bro. Like people, it's for the artist, right? In the end of the day, like don't get me wrong, you're gonna make money off of throwing the shows. That's a business in the end of the day, but you're doing more for the artist than I see anyone else trying to do right now. That's awesome.
They're going to be able to sell more tickets if I'm like giving them an opportunity for them to actually get paid. Then people are actually going to pull up and really support, and it just creates like a sick environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're creating your own vibe completely.
Yeah, because I've just done so many shows, and like I'm not like talking shit or anything, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just personally like I'm older than all these young kids. I'm like 26, so I'm like I'm just like over this like perform, like I it has to be worth it, bro. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to do for these kids, right?
Yeah. Well, you're turning around and taking it a lot more seriously, and you know, trying to turn it into more than just, oh, I made a song. You're trying to make a wave, bro, a movement.
Yeah, like literally a wave. Like that was the craziest thing about the last show that I threw. Like as soon as I posted the flyer, just went like kind of like viral on Instagram. I got like 700 comments, which isn't like a lot, but for me that's a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just like got around, and like all the right people were there, and it was just a sick environment. Obviously there's things that I need to change, and there was like hiccups, but that's just like, you know, you just grow and move forward. But it was definitely a step up from the first one that I did, because the first one that I did, I was just like literally like I put up 400 flyers downtown by myself.
Damn.
400 with
grinding.
Like literally a tape gun, a tape, my side bag, and flyers. And I could literally do like 200 flyers in like under 2 hours. Like I'm so fast and efficient. And like that's the thing about people like not being thankful or not understanding what I'm doing. It's like, dude, you guys don't understand like the groundwork that I'm doing for you guys, because if it's my show and it's my name, it's my brand, like I'm spending days handing out flyers. I'm going to shops, I'm talking to people, like I'm really pushing it and telling everyone what it is, you know what I mean? Like literally the first show I put up like almost 500 flyers by myself in 2 days.
And I think that's a lot of people don't see that side of it, and a lot of people don't do that side of it now, especially with the internet.
Yeah.
Getting out there with the people, talking to people, going and putting flyers on a post, like that's it feels so good. It's
good. And it's like the way that I do it is like I know that not a lot of people care and only see stuff on the internet, so I push the internet, but I pick like Kensington, Queen Street West, where like the art culture is really thriving in Toronto.
Yeah.
And within like a 5-kilometer radius, you will not walk down the street without seeing my flyer.
Yeah.
Like I put it on every pole, every electrical box, like everything. And I can do that stuff on I literally have the factory tape gun. Like I can like put up a flyer in like 3 seconds. I've just been, just crush it, bro. I could go downtown if I really, I could put 400 flyers up in a day.
Yeah.
Like if I took a whole day, I did like 200 in like an hour and a half. You know what I mean?
It's crazy, bro.
You just
it's a
have
lot
to
of
be,
work.
you just have to just like, you know, and when I'm doing it, I'm like, yo, I'm walking, I'm burning calories. You know what I mean? It's good.
Yeah.
So it's good. And like, you know,
again,
people will see you and be like, oh, what is that? And you're like, oh, this is, you know what I mean?
That's exactly what I was just going to say. And you get to interact with people as you're doing it.
Yeah,
you know?
and even like for the graphics, like this was the graphics from the first Save Me show. Like I've just always loved horror movies.
Okay.
So I've always been like a big horror fan. So like all the designs for my shows, I just take like vintage. Oops, my bad, I hit the thing. Vintage horror movie flyers and posters and just redid them. Found new fonts, used AI to take out stuff, and just like make it kind of my own because like that's kind of like my aesthetic that I thrive off of. It's like horror and like all that kind of stuff. So like all this,
awesome.
Yeah. So this is based off of Dracula's daughter. If you guys later, if you show it or if anyone wants to search it up, like I kind of just rip, like I'm kind of like ripping it, but the way that I look at it is like it's like sampling an audio, right? So if I hear like Enter Sandman by Metallica and I love that dun 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 dun, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna take that intro, I'm gonna rip it, and I'm gonna put like, you know, some hi-hats and some 808s and making a beat. It's the same thing. I'm taking something and I'm sampling it and making my own. Yeah, it's like very similar. Audio visual, like Photoshop, Pro Tools, like that's kind of just like my route.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I like it, man. Fuck. It's pretty fucking awesome. Okay, so coming on off of that,
Okay.
let's talk about what you've got coming next and what you have out right now. You know what I mean? So as we already said, as we talked about, we're going to do Rick Owens Step for the intro, one of my favorite songs of yours that you've released.
Yeah, thank you.
What do you have coming next?
So, I hate, like, the thing about me about making music is I get so torn on like what genre that I should make next, and I'm just not one of those artists who can just like keep just banging out like similar songs, similar genre, because it just like helps the algorithm. So like I think now that we're entering into fall time and like Halloween, like I have some like kind of like heavier stuff like with like metal and guitars. And I just recently kind of learned how to do a little bit of vocal frying and screaming in metal music, and I think I'm gonna dive more into like the darker music. I know that it's maybe not mainstream, and like I'll still make like the Post Maloney kind of tracks and stuff like that, but I've been really diving into a lot of metalcore, and I think with Halloween coming up, those are the kind of tracks that I'm sort of dropping next, you know.
I like it, bro. I like it. I like when artists experiment, right? You got to find not just find a sound, but like it's got to be you all over.
Well, it's just constantly growing, right? I think just right now I'm just gonna keep growing. Like I'm trying to like learn new things with my voice. That's why like metal music and metalcore just interests me so much, because it's just so technical and there's so many different things that you can do. So I'm just like, it's making me fall in love with music again, rather than I'm just doing like rap stuff and like rapping on the same mixing template every time I make a track. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
It's like every time I start from scratch and I'm trying like new things. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm watching videos, like learning. Okay, so screams sound really good with the SM7 mic by Shure, and I have a Neumann TLM 1 and 2, which is really good for high clean and like rap vocals. But now I'm like, oh, now that I'm trying to do like more like heavier grimier stuff, I want to get like one of those mics. So
that can handle it and works with it.
Yeah, so I'm just experimenting, man. Like the music that you're gonna get like hear from me, like I'm literally just experimenting, and every time I play them live, like I just think there's a revival in rock music going on right now, and I think that's why I got the London show, and that the London show did really well. So I'm just experimenting, man. I'm gonna always just keep making like different music, you know what I mean?
Fuck yeah.
And I have like even like I'm gonna drop a mixtape soon that I made when I was like 23, 24. I've just been like sitting on it and like bare music videos. So I think I'm gonna drop like my metal shit, then I'm gonna like go ahead and just drop a tape and then like go back into like more metal stuff. But like metal is just like entertaining my mind right now, because it's just like it's a new challenge, right? Like I want to be challenged when I make music. I want to sit there for hours and be like, yo, how do I make it sound like this, and like go between songs that I know. I just don't really like easy things.
Yeah, well, like you said, it's about the growth of as an artist as well. So that's awesome, and it's great. Do you have anything new coming up with Save Me?
So Save Me, honestly, right now I'm trying to sell the last of this stock. Save Me develops as my fashion skills develop. So right now, music is my number one, or fashion is number two. So I'm just probably, because I've been testing out a couple different designs for a while, so I kind of know which designs work, and then I'm just gonna up the ante with those designs, right? Like, so next time I re-up these shirts, I'm gonna have like nice poly bags that are gonna have logo. I'm gonna have better tags. I'm gonna half-tone the design more. Just tweak it because I know this is what sells, and just make it better, and then come up with another design. Because for clothing, like I'm not like, yo, I have a clothing brand, everyone needs to see it right now, I'm gonna make a drop. Like for me, it's like a very thing that like I can make money, but I can test out another artistic vision.
Yeah.
So once I have that vision curated to where it can maximize its revenue, then I'm gonna really go forward with that. You know what I mean? Because I had another design before this, and I honestly, once I got the thing and I put it on the shirts, I didn't really like it. It didn't sell as well. So it's a learning thing, right? So I think like this shirt, like I'm gonna like kind of tweak the design like a little bit, then I'm gonna just add the finer things, add this, and then just move on to that. And then whatever my artistic vision is next, because it comes from the shows, it comes, like I told you, this is a flyer that I made, so when it comes, you know what I mean? I'm not stressing. Like I just need to put out music, because like this comes second. This is just how I can like make money when I'm at shows. And like you know what I mean? But Save Me is like, it definitely has a sick name in Toronto. Everyone definitely knows about it because of the crazy ass shows that I've been throwing. But yeah, Save Me, like literally, that's why I have it on my face. You know what I mean? Like it's really therapeutic for me. Yeah.
Well, like you said, the meaning behind it there, of, you know, pulling you out of
drug addiction and stuff. Like I've just struggled with that for a long time. I still struggle with things, but it definitely, like, I remember I was like in college, like 22, and I was just like in bed. It was like 5 a.m. I was just like off the shit. So I was like, yo, just somebody, like, you know, that's what like AA says. They're like, yo, it's a disease, like God needs to help you. So I feel like I've definitely been diving a little more into religion. I wouldn't say I'm a devoted Christian or super religious, but I definitely have had like more of a spiritual experience and appreciation recently.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm glad that, you know, it's something that helps you in another way that you're expressing yourself. It's awesome. On that note, is there anyone you want to shout out? Any new shows you have coming up soon that you could shout out?
Yeah, like I talked about my fashion homies earlier. You know, if you want to support the scene and support everyone, like, you know, Scissor, Five Alive, Ethan Cordner, What Is Real Will Prosper is also another really dope brand. Those are the homies. Falu, she sells hats. She's really a fucking like awesome person. So support those person in the fashion. Support 777 Studios. It's the studio that I work at. We do events. We're about to get a new studio. So if you want studio time, you can always hit me up. So shout out to them. Shout out to like literally everyone who has always believed in me, came out to my shows, has been like, you know, supporting me and like helping me get through hard times, because there is times where I feel like there's nothing left, and then I just get like a message for someone and I'm like, oh wow, like thank you for that. So just buying clothes off me, coming to my shows, like anyone who's ever done that or wants to do that in the future, like I'm super thankful for you and thank you.
Awesome.
And what did you say? You said something else.
No, that was it.
That was it. Oh, and if I want to shout out some artists that I know, you know Kid Osai, they're really dope. You should hit up Solo, Samuel 57. You should really hit up, honestly, shout out to Walter Florence. He's great energy. Shout out to Endy's. Endy's brought me out to London. Shout out to Rare Candies. Shout out to all them. They really are. They're doing the same thing that I'm doing, but in another city. It's like artist first type stuff. So nice. Shout out to them. If there's anyone I'm forgetting about, I'm sorry, but if we're boys, shout out to Timeless Vision. That's one of my fucking boys. Yeah, I'm a little turned, so I can't remember everyone, but if you're in my life and you know, then you know, and I love you. Thank you so much for having me on this podcast, getting high, letting me showcase my stuff. I'm sorry it's late, but rapper time.
No, absolutely,
I appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
I'm happy you came out, and it was awesome kicking it with you and hearing your story, hearing about your passion, and
thank you.
Like I said, thank you for coming as well, bro.
Thank you. We'll do another one soon.
We'll
do number 2 and we'll go more in depth.
We'll keep it going. To everyone watching, if you enjoy what we're doing, make sure to like, follow, and share on YouTube at High Passion Pod or on Instagram and Spotify at High Passion Podcast. If our guests want to check you out, where can they find you?
If you guys want to keep up with me, my music, my clothing, on Instagram, I go by T0XXIC433, Toxic433. And if you want to check out my clothing, it's Save Me Clothing on Instagram, and Save Me is spelled S4V3M3 Clothing. And if you want any pieces, just shoot me a message. Thank you.
I want to give a big shout out to Sean Sweeney at Sean CS10 for everything you do for the podcast and making it all happen. And to all our viewers, I hope you tune in next time. And until then, stay positive and stay passionate.
Got my Rick going step, yeah. I just got a shawty and I put her on a check. I done show her how to flex, yeah. She just poppin' Molly, now she's saying that she wet.